Welcome to the BuildHERS Club Podcast. We're here to bring you real conversations and fresh insights from a woman's perspective in the construction industry.
Each episode will sit down with incredible guests, female builders, designers, business owners, and industry leaders to talk about the challenges, successes, and experiences that shape our careers.
Whether you're a seasoned pro or just starting out or simply curious about the industry, this is your space to learn, be inspired, and connect with a community of strong, trailblazing women. Welcome back to the BuildHERS Podcast, where women in construction and business come together to share stories of grit, growth, and resilience. My name is Teresa.
And I'm Sanika.
And today we're diving into topics that everyone can relate to, especially women, but something that we do not do, and that is caring for ourselves first.
Yes, January, the month where we plan resolutions and break them in weeks.
We have a very special guest with us today who's going to share her most successful tips and tricks.
Meloni is a rock star, and we are super excited to have her with us today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for the opportunity. Excited to be here.
Yes, we are too. We met you last March at the Collin County Women in Construction Week, where you spoke, and I was literally in the front row, like in awe. And we have been just jonesing to talk to you. So
thanks.
Super excited you're here.
All right. So why don't you go ahead and introduce her?
All right. Meloni Raney is the genuine, authentic leader of one of the largest construction associations in the country, an advocate for women, and passionate about advancing the construction industry. Meloni graduated from the University of Oklahoma, where she fell in love with the design-build process and achieved a degree in architecture with a minor in construction science. Initially following the trajectory of an architect, Meloni attained her architecture license while working at the Beck Group, a design-build firm headquartered in Dallas. In 2013, Meloni was hired as Director of Member Programs and Services at TEXO to leverage her strengths in educating and building programs for the construction industry. TEXO is the largest commercial contractors association in Texas, with members' combined annual revenues of more than $30 billion. Wow.
Yeah.
In March of 2015, Meloni was promoted to president and CEO of TEXO after the board recognized her successful efforts to grow membership and serve the entire construction industry. Meloni is a proud stepmom to 4 energetic teenagers. In her free time, she can be found on the golf course, mastering plie at Pure Bar, or sipping a bold Cabernet. She ran a marathon twice, but would not recommend it.
That is me in a nutshell.
I love it. I love it. I mean, where do we even start?
Yeah, well, tell us how you got started in the industry, and then I got to ask you about 4 teenagers. Holy cow.
Yeah. That's where that wine comes into play.
Yeah.
And running away.
I actually wanted to be a structural engineer. And so I loved math, and I was raised in a small town, Oklahoma. And I had a math teacher that kind of pushed me towards the engineering route. I was a total nerd, went to engineering camp, and then ended up doing it for a couple of days in school, structural engineering. And then I decided, this is not for me.
Yeah.
So I walked into the architecture college, which was complete chaos at OU. I mean, music was blaring. There was a big old thing of Red Bull in the corner. Everybody was just like kind of crazy. And I thought, I think I can fit in here. These might be my people. So I picked up architecture as a major. And then a couple years in, I noticed there was always this group of guys down in the library working on how the building actually goes together. And I asked them what they were doing and studying, and they said construction management. And I honestly, I hadn't even heard of it. When I thought about construction, I thought about bending rebar on the side of the road, pouring concrete and hammers and nails. And so when I was introduced to that, I was like, just kidding, that's what I want to do. And so I actually finished the architecture program and picked up construction management as my minor. And then just along the process, fell in love with design build and ended up coming to Beck and was able to do both architecture and construction. And it's just, I love the people in it. And it's just grown on me throughout the years of this is the only industry that I can imagine being in.
That's awesome.
So what does TEXO do exactly?
So we are the Commercial Construction Trade Association that serves Dallas-Fort Worth. So we are associated with the 2 largest national associations, Associated Builders and Contractors and Associated General Contractors. We're actually a joint chapter for them. But I say that we honestly protect the commercial construction industry anywhere in the DFW region. So any vertical building or data centers, mission critical, anything that's vertical, we work on advocating for the people, the businesses, teaching them safety, professional development, leadership type training.
Do you do government advocacy?
Mm-hmm, we do
that as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have lobbyists at the local level, the state level, and then the national level.
Okay, so this is going to be something very similar to what our home builders associations do for residential building.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. We're the exact same. That's your trade association.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
It's awesome. You love it?
I do love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't even know really this job existed. I was active, ironically, at TEXO when I was at Beck, but I had no clue the extent of what TEXO did. And looking back on it, I mean, I think this is what 100% the Lord created me to do, because it's a combination of you get to love on people and you get to love the construction industry at the same time. And that's just my heart, 100%.
I love that.
That's
So
awesome.
how did you get to TEXO from the Beck Group?
So I was at Beck for about 9 years, and I just had this stirring inside of me of we are so sound technically as a construction industry, but we've never been equipped to be good leaders. And being on a job site is really hard. This industry is really hard. And we have some choices on job sites and in the office to either invest in people and make them better, or by sometimes our non-actions, we tear them down and they end up with really horrible habits and their life goes down a destructive path. And I think as a leader, you have so much potential to change those lives and impact those lives. And so it just dawned on me that there's got to be something more we could be doing for leaders to create leaders in construction. And ironically, about that time, TEXO was looking for somebody to come in and do member programs and services, which is leadership training. And so I found out about the job and interviewed and was like, I don't really care what I do. I want to come work for TEXO because it has the biggest influence, in my opinion, on the construction industry in the DFW region and the national region, honestly, or the national associations also.
I want to come work with you.
Come on. Come on.
Don't you just hearing that? I mean, don't you want to just join her?
I'm always hiring good people, so come on.
I love it. I love it.
So have you seen more women then enter construction on your side?
I've seen a huge increase.
Okay.
So I've been at TEXO now 12 years. In the beginning, we had a women's committee and we would probably have 15-ish, 20 people at our events. And we now have between 150 and 250 women at our events. And I think that's just scratching the surface.
Yep.
And then when we go, because we're really active in high school programs and college programs, and I was one of 2 women in construction management at OU, and there were 75 graduates. And now there's 15 to 25 whenever we go. So there is definitely an increase in women. And that has made a push for us to create programs around them. And also to me, we have to create the tribe for women, but we also have to be teaching our male counterparts what it's like to have females in your company, because really all that they know is leading men for the most part.
That's right.
And so it's a little different, and we need to equip them to create an environment where women feel welcome and appreciated, and some of the battles that we face that are different than our male counterparts.
Right.
So there's an education on both sides that we're focused on.
Because
Amen,
what about
sister.
trades? Are they moving into trades as well? Okay.
I think that's a little bit harder.
Right.
Just there's a physical component to the trades
100%.
that is hard, but that doesn't mean we can't be in it.
Right.
And I think that's a little bit of a steeper climb, but we're definitely tackling it.
Oh, JNS has 2 female plumbers that are in the field plumbing.
I love it.
Yeah.
Gosh, I love it.
Yeah.
We, TEXO supports a high school program at Wilmer Hutchins, and there are 15 students studying plumbing. 7 of them are females.
Really?
Where is this high school at?
Wilmer Hutchins, South Dallas.
South Dallas. Okay.
Is there
And then
any-
where are they going?
Yeah.
Where are they going to college? Where are they going?
Yeah.
Which schools are they
So
looking at?
it's called the P-Tech program. So they actually, when they graduate with their high school diploma, they'll have a construction technology associate's degree.
Okay.
So their junior and senior year, they go to Northlake College to get their construction technology
We need to
degree.
look into that. Yeah.
We're in the middle of working through what schools we really want high schools that we want to really
Give scholarships.
the scholarships that we just funded from the golf tournament. Like, we want to do it for underprivileged or that people that really need it. So
We work with about 90 high schools in DFW
Okay.
for
so
construction
this is
programs. We have
definitely hook
we
up
have
with
2
y'all.
people solely dedicated to that. We have a committee. with about 40 volunteers.
God,
we
put
would
you in
love
this
to
seat.
work with you
Yes.
guys.
God put you
Okay.
in this seat for like
100%.
we literally are about to like start researching. So this is like
We can save you so
And
much
we have
time.
especially
That's
DFW
amazing.
too. So
Yeah.
we'll definitely hook up with you on the outside because, they say about 40% of our trades are going to retire in about 5 to 6 years. And that's a lot of our masters, right?
I think the average age of the plumber in the state of Texas is 55.
It is. Yeah.
That's a
That's
problem.
your master. And well, who's going to be there to teach, a younger generation?
wholeheartedly.
So that's why it's exciting to kind of see more women come into this. And I know they're going into more of on a management side, but there are trades out there that, shoot, if I was telling her, if I was able to do a redo on a career, I'd be a plumber and I'd have a good plumbing company.
I think
That's
it's a
what I would
genius
do.
idea. Mm-hmm. And we have to spread the word.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a lady, an electrician on TikTok, and I mean, I think she's got 4 or 5 million followers.
Mhm.
It's things like that students just don't know.
That's right.
I'm convinced that honestly, as the construction industry, we're not good at bragging or telling our
I
stories.
don't think parents know.
They do not know.
That's the biggest
They do not know.
challenge there is that parents need to know that there is lucrative money to be made
Right.
in trades.
Yeah.
And in construction.
And it's not a bad job.
It's not.
No.
It's an amazing career. I have a stepson that's in the electrical apprenticeship program.
Oh, nice.
It's an amazing career.
Which one? Which
Absolutely
school?
amazing. The second one.
No, which school?
I'm sorry. With 4, that's usually the question.
Right.
He's at CEF, Construction Education Foundation. He's working for Humphrey and Associates.
That's
So
awesome.
It's exciting. Yeah,
Yes.
I love it.
I know. I'm constantly telling my kids, like, unless you have something specifically that you have to have a degree for, you need to think about the trades.
Like, go get your welding certification.
Yeah.
It's 11 months,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and a company will pay you to go do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Just a
100%.
no-brainer for me. Take your gap year can be learning a trade.
And I
Yes.
think everybody should learn a little of a trade. Like,
Oh,
honestly,
yes,
they really
absolutely.
should. That hands-on, what it does to your brain, it's a lot different than sitting in front of a professor and taking
Yes.
notes, and unless you are, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a teacher, I want to be, you have something very specific, which kids don't. Very few kids actually know what they really, really want to do. It took me graduating when I was 28 because I had an 8-year college program.
so
I
did
was
I.
working in
They're
all of it,
called doctors.
I changed my major 3 times.
Yeah, so did I.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I had
And I came out with loans and these
thing
kids
I
can
worked
go-
for. I wasn't
Well, I
able
did
to.
too.
Oh,
Well,
you were too. You
oh,
came out with
yeah.
loans.
There's a
Yeah.
stat, I think, of only 11% of people that graduate college use their specific degree.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I got the BS degree, which was business.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You
Business
can
and
always use
marketing.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I did use it because I opened my own business. But I will tell you that what is taught in a book when it comes to that has nothing to do with what real life
Right.
is when you're actually doing and running a business. The basics are there,
Right.
but you learn all of that in the field and on the
School
job.
of Hard Knocks.
But anyway, this is so awesome. Okay, so let's get back. Let's talk about our healthy aspect of the new year. So what does health look like? You look healthy.
Well,
We know
That
she loves to
wasn't my,
golf.
Yeah.
Are you really good?
I mean, it's a 16 handicap. I hate to put that out there, but anybody can go look it up. So, I mean, I'm not horrible.
Yeah.
But I am not I'm a bogey golfer.
At least you have a handicap. I don't keep score. So, I mean, there's a difference.
My husband, it's like a dream of his for us to play in tournaments and stuff, which means you have to have a legitimate handicap.
Oh, okay.
And so that's why I started keeping it, honestly, because same way, 2 years ago, I was like, I don't really care. But then if I want to get better, I need to track it.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
And tracking it, I need to keep that handicap. And so I
Nice.
started. But it's been kind of cool to watch the trends and see
Yeah.
how I do in different seasons of life.
Yeah. Yeah. How long have you been golfing?
I started in 2009. When I was at Beck, I got moved into business development. And so with that, I was like, I should probably learn how to play golf.
Yeah, a lot
And
of
so-
deals happen on the golf course.
That's exactly. And women need to be on the golf course.
Yeah,
They do. Absolutely.
I could drive a golf
love it.
cart.
That's half the challenge, honestly.
Exactly.
I'm not allowed to have anything in my hands that I can swing and hit people with. But I'm a really good companion.
You are.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so let me rephrase that question. What does health look like for you this year regarding physically, mentally, emotionally, and how are you prioritizing it, starting in January? Because it's a hard month to after the holidays to get going.
So I've actually been working on this for several years. I've kind of always had to work on this. When I was at Beck and got moved into business development, my routine switched because I was at a lot of happy hours and events after work. So you couldn't work out late at night. And so I had to very quickly switch. I gained probably 15 pounds in a year once I moved into business development. And I was like, this isn't going to work. I need my clothes to fit. And so I became a morning workout person. I was not a morning person. I've now become one, but I had to really switch that mindset of, if I'm going to take care of myself, I have to be consistent. And that was literally the only time that I could be consistent. And so what is that, 16 years ago was when I became a morning workout person. And then moving to TEXO became really difficult because there's a lot of early morning meetings and all that. But I have just had to, I'm a big fan of keeping a morning routine and a morning ritual because I think that sets the tone for the rest of the day.
Yep.
And I have to protect that time. And to me, time is the absolute biggest resource that we have and our most precious resource. And so I protect my mornings at all costs. And so I really try not to schedule anything before 8:15 or 8:30 in the morning. I usually at a 5:30 workout class, and then I take my dog for a walk, and I listen to a devotional. It's kind of it's a devotional / a little bit of a meditation, but that is just, it helps set the tone. I try not to look at email before I do that. Because it's so easy to get into sucked in.
Yep.
And I do think as females, we put everybody else ahead of us.
Yeah.
And it was probably when I got married at 38, so a little bit later in life, I was pretty set in my routine, and it became very evident with a husband and 4 stepsons that
boys, they're all boys,
and they're all boys. That I can't.
That's gotta be fun though.
They has to. I wouldn't change it for anything. They're so much fun. The house is complete chaos, and I would have it no other way. But it's, if I don't prioritize me, nobody else is going to.
That's right.
And so that has been the biggest trick for me, and I'm pretty consistent with that. And I'm going to do 75 hard. So it is.
Are you?
I am.
Okay, so
Is
what
this
is
your
that?
first
Is that like a workout
time?
thing?
It is.
Okay.
So it is my first time to do. Have you done it?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Her routine, your routine is her routine. Like y'all do, and I'm an afternoon workout. So what is 75 hard, just so I know?
So it's 75 days of, you do 2 workouts a day. So 2 45-minute workouts a day. One has to be outside, and it's, you read 10 pages a day or for 10 minutes a day. There's no alcohol, and you drink a gallon of water a day, which
Wow.
I have all that. I'm pretty good with all that. The second 45-minute workout, I'm going to have to add a little bit. So I hope my dog is ready for a few extra blocks for that workout. But the no wine is probably going to be the hardest part.
Yeah, 75 days.
75 days.
And there's nothing about your nutrition, like your eating.
Oh, you do have to follow a diet.
Yeah.
A specific diet.
Okay. Yeah. I would think
Which you get
that's
to choose.
Yeah, and it's probably high protein, lots of vegetables, fruits, right?
Yeah. I'd like to do, I do the faster way, which I just love that. It's carb cycling and intermittent fasting.
Okay.
So that's kind of the routine that I'm on for how I eat and when I eat. And so that will be my diet that I follow.
Are you have you started?
So I started December 26th.
Okay.
My husband's birthday is Christmas Eve.
Okay.
And we always love to do steaks and wine. So it's like, I'm not ruining that. So I'm going to start after
Christmas.
December
So
26th.
you came into the new year with a bang.
Yes.
Is he doing it
before
with
New Year's.
you?
He is not.
Okay.
And I don't know if that probably wouldn't be smart.
Yeah.
It's a lot of pressure to make sure that you're checking all the boxes every day.
I know.
What about accountability?
As long as he doesn't
partners?
drink his wine around you.
Right. Which I have to get used to it because it's going to happen. I'm going to be at networking
a happy hour or
events.
something.
Yeah. It's going to happen and no big deal.
Yeah.
Yes, there's 2 ladies doing it with me, my peer in Arizona and then somebody in Eileen in our TEXO office. So it's fun to have people, a group around me that's also doing it.
Oh, yes. And you guys,
You gotta
but
have
I
a
think
partnership with that.
It's good to kickstart things.
yeah.
And to me, it's actually not that hard. It's the consistency and the discipline to keep it up. That's with any routine, right?
Yes.
Yep.
It's just that discipline to do it. That's where the hard part comes in.
Yeah.
But somebody is looking to you, whether they're looking up to you or beside you. Somebody is looking at how you handle your life.
Mm-hmm.
And so if we can be a role model and an example for prioritizing ourselves so that we can go take better care of others, There's a stat out there that says working moms work 2.5 more hours each day than most men.
Yep.
When you think about the groceries and the laundry and the cooking and picking up kids and all, and my husband is amazing, and so I don't necessarily know that stat applies to me, but I do think most women feel that burden of an extra 2.5 hours a day. Yeah. So we have to prioritize ourselves.
Well, okay, so let's go into 4 boys. Because I don't know how you'd even be able to do that with 4 teenagers.
They're 15 to 20. So we have a junior at A&M. So there's 3 that are still in the house. The one that's at Humphrey and Associates still lives at the house.
Okay.
I mean, it's a lot, but I also, I love I feel like I either go 130 or I go about 2, miles per hour.
That's how I feel.
Yeah. And so there's a basketball goal up in our living room.
Oh, yes.
We have a ping pong table and a pool table. So there's always chaos happening in there.
I love it.
Sometimes you'll be sitting at the dinner table and like somebody riding a bike will just like come through and you're like, okay. It's just,
you just go with
fun.
it.
And I want them to have just a fun life.
Yeah.
And I also want them to live. I don't want them to be on their screens. I don't want them
100%
sucked into video games. I want them in the backyard, jumping on the trampoline.
Getting dirty.
Yep. I want them actually jumping off the roof. I want them to be safe, but I want them doing a front flip off the roof because they're living.
Yeah.
And I think we need more of that in this life.
I agree.
100%. I think it's really hard to, especially when your kids are younger. I'm Gen X, so I'm not sure what generation,
same.
But okay. We grew up, our parents didn't know where we were, right? And at 10 o'clock, the TV said, do you know where your parents are? Some celebrity would come on saying it. Do you have any idea where your kids are?
Yeah.
Right? They had to remind our parents that they had children.
Yeah. Go find your kids.
Yeah. And so the only way you knew where somebody was is by the amount of bicycles in somebody's yard, right? Like that's how you could follow out where your kids were. We grew up in a generation where we were outside all the flipping time.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in our generation, I won't let my kids play in the front yard unless I'm sitting there.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's really, really hard. Like you do want them to live, but you've got to sacrifice your time because the trust factor of them being able to do that is so hard, especially, boys too, but girls are scary.
It's a different world that we live, especially in Dallas, Fort Worth.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you think about the big metroplex that we're in.
Yeah. I would actually sit out front and take my computer out there when they wanted to run up and down the street and make them go out and do that because it's really hard for me to sit out there for 2 hours while they're playing and not do something. Right.
Yeah. But that's a balance, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like you just figured out a compromise that allows them to be in the front yard.
Yes.
And you also, which speaks to flexibility of workspace.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not saying that you have to be physically in the office to work anymore.
That's
the
right.
setting, the environment has changed.
Which is nice. Yes.
And the business world has to change with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Tennis matches start at 3:30 in the afternoon. So guess what? Most of the time, if I was able to make it, I was usually on calls, but I was there able to watch.
Right.
Yeah.
But that's also, I think schools are out a lot more often nowadays than, we went to through 4 feet of snow, we'd be going to school.
Yes.
Yep.
That doesn't happen in Dallas Fort Worth.
No. I know. It's so
in Dallas, it can't.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
I don't want to be on the road with anybody driving in from Dallas. I grew up in Montana.
Oh,
so
gosh, okay.
I'm used to the snow. And I thought when I moved here, I was like, what? This is ridiculous. Then I lived in Colorado. I've always lived in snow. This is the hottest metropolis I've ever lived in. And I remember it was like 2 inches. And I'm like, whatever, I'm going to go out and get the mail. And just went, whoop, boom. Because it's not snow.
It's ice.
It's ice.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
It is insane. And we don't have trucks and we can't do all that. But, regardless, yes, we did. We traveled, uphill, down with no shoes.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
That saying. All right. You want to ask the next question?
Sure. What's one simple routine that has had the biggest impact on your professional growth in construction?
That has had the biggest growth. It is definitely the people that I surround myself with. So I'm around a ton of people pretty much every day. That really is my job, honestly, is to just be out with the industry. But there are 3 groups of people that I would say are really my absolute closest friends. And one of them is all female, and then the other 2 are all male. But having a tribe around you that pushes you and is honest with you and gives you candid and loving feedback has been hands down the biggest thing that has impacted my professional career. So I think it is so important that you surround yourself with people that you want to be like and that won't let you live in a state of mediocrity or complacency. They're going to call you out on it, and I'm thankful for it. But I think that's the biggest thing if I had to name one thing.
And that's on a professional level. You surround yourself.
Yeah, but
does that group translate into personal as well? Okay.
They're my best friends. Yeah.
Okay.
So and I think I didn't really realize this until I got married and my husband's in IT, that the construction industry is very different in that our lives are, your personal and professional 100%
blend.
It's so true.
And that's not the case in other industries. Didn't know that.
Yep.
So in the beginning, he was like, so you like hang out with also people that you work with? Like you're good friends with them? And I'm like, yeah, are you not?
Yeah, it is
the
so
computer.
true.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's so yes, that they are, I mean, I have a few friends that aren't in construction, but they're two that I can think of. So
Right.
Yeah.
not many.
It's so
Your
true.
tribe is the most important
Yes.
thing to you.
And I think who you surround yourself with is going to tell you who you're going to be in the future. And I try to tell the boys this all the time. It is so important to pick the friends that are going to have the biggest influence on your life. Because if they're doing things that you don't want to do or agree with, guess what and you stick around with them, guess what you're probably going to end up doing.
Yep.
And so I think it's the same way for the professional life. Surround yourself with people that you want to be like and emulate. And I think that will have the biggest impact on how you grow professionally and personally.
Agree. I'm always telling Brinley and Davis, birds of a feather flock together.
That's right.
And, it's just so true.
Yeah.
So true.
All right, let's do a concrete confession.
Okay.
I'm ready. I love the name of it. Concrete's
All
one
right,
of my favorite materials. Just saying.
So this actually came from one of our mentees in our mentorship program with Collin College.
Okay.
So it's one of the girls. I'm currently in school for management and plan to be a project manager or general contractor. I've already heard boys in my class say sexist jokes about women in driving. On a job site, I asked about an island's height. The worker said it's because women are shorter and mostly in the kitchen.
Oh.
How do I deal with these type of comments? You punch them in the face.
I know, right?
No, scratch that.
With a
Don't do
big, deep sigh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because this is something we repeatedly deal with over and over. And when you're brand spanking new and don't have life behind you.
Yeah.
How do you deal with that on a job site?
Well, looking back at my younger self, so I'm going to say what I wish she would have done versus what she actually did. But I want young women to not be defined by what anybody else tells them or says to them. So your definition as a person is not shaken by somebody making a comment to you about women being in the kitchen, because you know who you are, you know that you're sound technically and business sense and professionally, you're solid. I just want them to have a confidence of it doesn't actually matter what you say to me. I'm good. And I honestly think insecurity plagues the business world.
Mm-hmm.
Like that man making that comment says more about him than it does about her.
Right.
And that's what we have to teach them is how do we give them the confidence that it doesn't actually impact you? If anything, it makes you stronger when you just walk away and don't acknowledge it. Because if you don't acknowledge it, probably nobody else is going to acknowledge it whatsoever.
Right. Yeah.
I do think that there's a point, and I think it can happen more regularly on a job site than we want to admit when the comments get out of hand.
Mm-hmm.
And that needs to be taken to the superintendent and the project manager immediately. But I had an instance on a job site, and I maybe shared it at the Collin College whenever we were there, but there were workers making comments about my perfume on a job site. And I was 24. It was my very first job site. I had zero clue how to handle it. And so I went and talked to the project manager and the superintendent helped me figure out a way to go address the people who were saying it. And so he said, you have to go address it, but I'm going to be right behind you. Like I've got your back to go talk to him, but you need to go professionally address them and ask them to not do it. And so that's exactly what I did. Went and addressed it with him about 7 feet behind me, thankfully. But it was teaching me how to deal with that situation in a respectful way. I didn't lower my standard, and go cuss him out. It was just respectfully, please don't do that. Yeah. Treat me as a professional that I am on this job site, the way that I'm going to treat you as a professional. We need to have a respectful working relationship. End of story.
And did it stop?
Uh-huh. Yeah. It did.
Custom Screens and Outdoor Living is outdoor living specialist company. So we do outdoor kitchens, outdoor living spaces, we do motorized louvered roof systems, and then we also screen in those spaces with motorized screens that block out sun and bugs or both, and it creates a 4-season room. The communication within our company is probably what we pride ourselves on, because then that translates over to the customer. If we communicate well as a group, the customer is going to receive that communication and know exactly what's going on with the process of patio, the kitchen, the louvered roof system, motorized screens, whatever we're doing for them at that time.
And I'm so thankful to that superintendent for having my back, but also teaching me how to deal with stuff like that.
Conflict resolution.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop.
It does not.
No.
It's going to be constant. You're a woman in a man's world, and it is always going to be there. So if you don't learn how to deal with it at a young age. So what advice would you give her? Just to ignore it and walk away? Like what?
I think in the moment, ignore it and walk away. I do think it's always nice if you have a mentor that you can discuss things with. And I try to give my cell phone out to any young or anybody actually in our industry whoever wants to just tell me about a situation. Sometimes it helps just to talk about it and get it out. So hopefully you've got somebody, a female on the job site that you could maybe go discuss it with and see if it was a line that was crossed or not. Right. But other than that, I do think or she can ask him or she can say something back. Just, I would appreciate it if you didn't make comments about me being a female.
Yeah.
Right.
It's not respectful to me in this position. Right. I think that is perfectly fine.
Right.
Doing it in a respectful way.
Right.
Yep.
Awesome.
I love that.
I do too, because that's probably one of the biggest questions we get from our younger girls is, how do I deal with harassment?
Yeah.
Is they don't have, we can say this to them because we know how to deal with it. I can give a look now and somebody knows they've crossed the line, right?
Right.
But you don't have that. Yeah. Before. And so even telling a 20-year-old girl this, they don't have the confidence.
No.
They're building that. So it's really, it comes in time, like you said, you either ignore it and don't let it bother you or address it, professionally and move on, but it's not going to stop. So you're going to have to figure out how you want to do it.
And I think that's where we equip them with how to respond respectfully.
Right.
And that's the piece that we've probably dropped the ball on, is having a mentorship program and just a grassroots effort of how do you handle this in a respectful way?
Yes.
Because coming back at them and doing another jab is just going to be
it makes
downward
it worse.
Spiral.
Yep. Right. Absolutely. It makes it worse. Well, and that's something we can talk to you about too. So we have a mentorship program with the Dallas Builders Association.
Right.
It would be great maybe to include TEXO in on that with Colin.
That'd be amazing.
Because there's a lot of girls going into commercial. We can teach them, most of what we're doing is more life skill type stuff, versus and putting them in front of people that, we practice interviews and, they actually interview in front of builders, right? You're with a builder. So, life skill type things, they're learning the basics in school, but it's those things that they're really just like sponges trying to learn how to deal with that. And a commercial job site is a heck of a lot different than a residential job site.
And we just don't teach people that.
No,
it's like
anymore.
We've lost social skills in this country.
We
just
have.
Being able to have a face-to-face conversation.
They're petrified.
Mm-hmm.
Petrified.
Which sometimes I don't want to have a face-to-face conversation, but guess what? You got to pull your business pants on and you got to go do it.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, because construction isn't always behind a computer. Most of the time it's not. It's in a field. You are dealing with.
Very relational.
Yes. Yep. You're in the wrong industry if you cannot do that.
And DFW is extremely relational. When I talk to my peers across the country,
oh yes,
we are on the far
Boots
end.
on the ground.
Are we?
Yes.
100%.
Yeah, we are. And we are just more collaborative here. And I think it's honestly because we're very forward thinking.
Yeah.
We have a lot of the large companies are headquartered here. So we're just more advanced in DFW.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell my peers. I'm like, get ready, because whatever DFW does in about 5 to 10 years, it's coming to your market. So
Right.
you
I
better.
think Texas in general.
I
I mean,
agree.
Houston's the same way as well.
I knew we were tight, but I didn't realize that in other parts of the country, it's not as, like, your people aren't as,
Oh, yeah.
They, especially on the East Coast, they kind of play their cards closer. There isn't that social aspect at all.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more on the cutthroat side, I think,
Yes.
than it is here. We help everybody. There, you don't help,
Yeah.
right? There is it kind of.
I'm curious to see how design assist and design build is going to impact that, because as resources become very limited,
Right.
you have to rely on your partners. Your design assist is booming here. And so you've got to have a respect level with your trade partners that is unheard of, like in the Northeast.
Yep.
So I'm going to be really curious to see how that in the next 5-ish years comes into play with relationships.
Yeah. That's interesting. I never thought about that.
Yeah.
That's a really interesting topic. Okay. So what do you think the construction industry needs to attract more women into trades and leadership roles?
We touched on it a little bit. I think, I do think that we have made big strides. I think we have to get past some of the old school mentalities of you're not working if you're not in the job site trailer or you're not in the office. So if you're not having coffee with the superintendent at 6:30 in the morning, then you're, late and not working, because the work-life integration has to be part of the careers, particularly for women, I would say, because they are often the one taking care of the kids. Not always, but for the most part. So I think that mentality has got to change. And then I also think just the flat out respect that we have for our trades. Most general contractors don't self-perform anymore. Like, some of them do a little bit here and there.
Very few.
Very few.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, they do not self-perform.
Nope.
They're a construction manager.
Yep.
And so I think respect for the fact that if you did not have your trade partners, your building would not be built.
That's right.
Yeah.
We have got to respect the craft professionals in our industry. And I do think it has gotten better, but we have a long way to go.
I agree.
A long way to go. So, and everything that we've been talking about, I think, is intertwined. It's the parents understanding that this is a profession that should be respected. It is an amazing career that can change the legacy of your family.
That's right.
Mhm.
And until we are willing, I would say, to brag about that and put that out there as an industry of what you can really do, why do we think it's going to change? So we've got to do a better job about telling our stories, which is why I love what you guys are doing here. So keep doing it. Yay. But, it's things like that. It's porta potties on job sites.
Yes.
I'm sorry, they're disgusting for the most part.
Yeah.
Right. And a woman is supposed to have their own with a lock on it, where men cannot go and use
Yes.
that particular.
Yeah. So I commend the general contractors
That
who
do
have
that.
put it in their contracts that they have nice bathrooms on job sites.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They aren't the porta potties that have all the writing in them
Right.
that you're scared to go into.
Yeah.
Right.
And so I think it's small things like that that will create the environment that is more welcoming. And I also think people want to work with people that they know and look like them.
Yeah.
So the more we're out
Yep.
there with pushing women in the trades and pushing women to be in our industry, and I love to put on my hard hat. Love it.
Mhm.
And I love that. I mean, it's always in my car. So anytime I'm picking up the boys or friends or whatever, my hard hat is right there. And anything like that we can do to change the perception of what it's like to be in construction, I think will help
Yes.
bring more women in.
I love that. Mine's in my truck too. And I absolutely love that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm getting all, because that's the whole point of this. The
Yeah.
whole point is to hear your story and to help and encourage more women to want to stay, come to our industry and then stay
Yeah.
also. Because we read that statistic
Yes.
that because of the harassment,
Yeah.
a lot of them question whether they're in the right industry and they actually want to get out.
Yep.
And so it is educating them on how to deal with it and how to
Yep.
move forward.
100%. I'm in a women in trades group, a couple of them on Facebook. And one of them is commercial specific. And some of the things and questions that these women ask, just different things that have happened, especially recently, they're a little bit nervous about getting into the business. And so they're asking, is this something I should really do? Or is this something that, and they're talking like carpentry or welding or, running big machinery, because more women are getting behind on that as well. And a lot of them are like, it's very fulfilling. It's you've got to have a boss out there, especially on the East Coast, because everything is a little bit different out there. They have, unions. Yeah. Sorry. Perimenopause. Can't think of anything. They have unions out there. And so they're very specific of what they can and can't do, and they have all these legalities that they have to work around, and they don't have that representation within those unions. Yeah. And so a lot of them are like, probably you want to do construction management in a different field. Don't be a welder. Don't be an electrician. Don't be a plumber. Don't be a bricklayer. Yeah. Because you're going to have to deal with so much of this, which is so sad. That's when tough. I see this, and it really comes down to what environment you're put in.
Do a ton of research on the companies. Yep. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things is knowing the company that you're going to go work for and the culture that they have and the environment, because you're going to be in it, 10 plus hours a day. Yep. I also, going back to what we were just talking about, women should be women's biggest advocates. Yes. There is nothing that just hurts my heart more is when somebody will reach out and talk about a woman that's giving them a hard time or speaking poorly about them to other people. That has got to stop. Yep. And we have got to be, I should know that the women who are in rooms that I'm not in behind closed doors
are not talking,
are advocating for me and not putting me down or,
But we're not taught that in society.
We're not.
So we have been pitted against each other for years. And it started hundreds of years ago when the only thing a woman could do is marry into money, right? It was a marriage. And so you were competing based off, it was a competition. Yeah. And so through years and years and years, women have been competing against each other, and we don't dress for men.
No.
We dress for other women.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
So, I mean, that has, and social media does not make this good. And there's reality TV does not make this good.
Like, we can stop it.
Yes.
And so if we just keep being each other's champions and advocates and like preaching that message and also shutting it down. Yep. When you hear other women talking poorly about other women, shut it down. Yep. And just walk away from the conversation. Yep. Respectfully, I don't want to actually be a part of this.
Yeah. Yep.
If we want to talk uplifting about them, yes, I'll participate. Yeah. I don't want to speak poorly about anybody.
I love that.
And so we've got to put up some boundaries on that. And we've got to be better.
Yes.
Because there's not a lot of us in here.
No, we got to stick together.
Yes.
That was another part of this. It was like inspiring each other and encouraging each other and but the true support and not like the backhanded comments.
Right.
And like your true champion.
Yes.
Yes.
100%.
Yeah. Of each other.
In all areas.
Yeah.
And extend grace.
Yes.
We need it.
Literally extend grace, because you have no idea what's going on in somebody's life. And if something's falling apart, extend some grace, because you have no clue what's going on behind closed doors.
Yeah. I that speaks to construction as the number one industry for suicide. You to your point, you have no clue what's going on in somebody's life. Yep. And so ask them and be genuinely interested in what's happening with them, and create an environment for people to tell you, I'm not okay.
Yeah.
And I need help right now.
And alcoholism is really big in construction.
It's huge.
Yeah.
That goes back to the very first conversation of, I saw families being ruined by what they were going through at work. And it's how we can be better than forcing somebody to work 15, 16 hours a day.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the only thing that they think is going to cure their pain is alcohol.
Yeah.
Go home and get hammered and then come back and do it again the next day.
It also has the highest abuse rate. Construction.
Does it? I didn't know that.
Physical abuse. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I think all of this goes to the mental health, of our industry, of our society.
Yep.
And it breaks my heart to think that women are scared to go into a job site. But when I think about it, I'm like, sometimes I think about going to a mall, and I'm like,
as women, we have to be aware of every step of every moment of every day. It isn't 100%. Just in construction. It's everywhere in our life.
It is. Yeah.
I
was joking with the boys the other day about when I go out to my car. I mean, I'm leaving at 5:10 in the morning, and I always step into my car from like 4 feet out. And they just looked at me and they're like, why? And I was like, in case somebody's hiding under the car. Yep. And they were like, why would you even think about that? And I was like, I think about that every time I go get in my car.
Time.
Like I think about every time I'm walking the dog at 6:30 in the morning, like who's around me? What's my surroundings? And it like floored them that they even, because
it's something they don't even have to worry about.
Never crosses their mind. I'm like, it's welcome to my female world.
Yes.
It's what I've lived with my entire life.
Yep.
So it was and I was like, that's why you walk on the outside of the sidewalk and I walk on the inside.
Yes.
100%.
Not the only one explaining that to my kids.
But they have to learn it somewhere.
Yep. Yes.
Exactly.
All right, we'll have one last question and we'll close it out with an
We can't be done already.
I know. I'm not ready.
Talking.
I know. Well, you have to come back.
Yeah, for sure.
We have way too much to talk about.
What skills, technical or soft skills, do you believe is the most important for the future workforce in construction?
I'm a huge fan of professional skills, which I think is soft skills on a little bit of a higher level. Being able to have candid conversations and hard conversations, I think is a skill that we desperately need to bring back, because I think people hide behind text messages and emails, and they're willing to say a lot of things in emails and text messages that
they wouldn't say
if we were talking face to face. You probably wouldn't say it like this, or I would be able to hear your tone and understand that, you didn't mean it like that.
Yep.
You meant it like this.
Keyboard warriors.
Yes.
Yep.
And so I think I saw this meme that said, I think we need to go back to the good old days when you would say things and you got punched in the face.
Yes. It's all the same one.
I think
100%.
society needs to have a little bit of that, of
accountability for what they're saying.
100%.
Words hurt.
So, yes, they do.
And you cannot retract them.
And I don't think COVID helped. The isolation of COVID helped with society being able to, have
say whatever they wanted.
An eye contact. And you learn a lot about somebody from the body language. That's not is like 80% of what you get from somebody is via body language.
Right.
Oh yeah.
So I think that is it's a big piece of what TEXO trains. We train a ton of professional development skills.
Okay.
And so that...
And can they come and take classes with you? Okay.
Yeah.
So you offer training.
We do.
Okay.
So we offer etiquette, difficult conversations, just
amazing.
All sorts of networking skills.
Is it just in commercial, or can you come if you're in residential, or is it really just...
Come on. Some things are members only, but other things we open up to non-members. The other thing we do is if somebody wants a class, we can set up classes for companies, because we have all of these, connections with facilitators. Okay. So we can do one-off. I just want the industry to be better.
Yeah.
Well, and the biggest thing that we're hearing from employers as these younger generation is coming out is just such a lack of soft skills.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, from posture to being able to shake a hand and look you in the eye, like it is missing.
Yes.
And so these are the skills that you normally learn in high school,
right?
Which they're not teaching anymore, So, and parents are at fault for some of this too. So I mean, my parents are the ones who taught me. High school didn't, right? I was taught at home. This is how you shake a hand. Mm-hmm. This is, you look somebody in the eye. Yep. When you order something, you say thank you.
Yes.
Manners were, yes.
Handwritten notes.
Yes. Yes.
There's just a decency that comes with that. And construction appreciates those values. Because honestly, I think it is we're a homegrown type industry.
We sure are.
Your grit and boots and corn fed.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, that is just who we are. We like to play in the dirt.
Yep.
And I think there are some traditional values that go along with that.
I agree.
That some students are just missing.
Yep. Well, I think a lot of students are missing. And I don't even think it's in construction.
No,
I think it's in general across just anybody going into college and coming out of college.
Right.
And I'm talking even graduating from A&M, these soft skills are just not there.
Yeah.
Maybe the education is, but the soft skill presence isn't. So that is something, and that's something that we've noticed. And that's one of the things that we're really working on with some of our mentees is they're so scared to even just look at you in the eye.
Right.
Yeah. And it breaks
executive
my heart.
presence and how you dress.
Yes.
And
100%.
I think that there's something to be said for how you show up.
Yeah.
Do you look... My mom always told me, dress for the job you want, not the job you have.
That's right.
And so there's something to be said for the way you show up and your presence in a room.
Yes.
And to your point, I don't think it's being taught or shared at the dinner table as often as probably it was for our generation.
Yeah. 100%. Kind of makes me sad, but we're going to have to get together with you and we'll put together like a little, because we have a lot of girls and we only have so many mentors.
Yeah.
So if you
we would love to help.
Oh, that would be amazing.
We would love to help.
Oh my gosh.
Because we're starting our, so we do it fall of the semester. So we just did our fall semester and then we're going to do the spring semester. So we'll talk to you about that.
Okay.
And I'd love to get some commercial construction in on that side. And they will be thrilled about that too.
Yeah.
I tell you what, those events at Collin College are amazing.
Right.
I can't get over how many young women are
20%.
It's amazing.
They have the highest ratio in the country of women in construction is at that school.
Yes.
It's huge.
It is amazing.
And that room was filled.
It was.
Yes.
There's probably 300 plus people in that room.
Yes.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
It was great. It's inspiring. It truly is inspiring to see, we need everybody in construction, not just females, but it is great to see inclusivity in that. So,
right. And I do think companies are starting to realize that. They have a massive gap. And women are 50% of the population.
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe we should hire more of them.
Yeah. They're not just in the kitchen.
Right.
But women, when they go look at your website, it helps for them to see women in leadership.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, to knowing that they're going to have some people around them for their career.
I 100% agree. Well, I think our home builders do a really good job. We do have a lot, especially in the office. Yeah. It was 10 years before I saw a female project manager out on a job.
Yeah.
I was the only woman on the job site for years. And her name was Mia. And we're friends to this day. Like, I will never forget because it was just so exciting. I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. It was so awesome. So, but
there is a special bond between women in construction.
There is. There's not that many of us.
Yeah.
And we do need to champion each other and lift each other up and be our best advocates for each other.
100%.
And, and also, I love that you mentioned advocating. Well, I'm sorry, not advocating. Educating men.
Yes.
On how to handle women and our needs and, just making us a more cohesive team for the greater good.
Right.
I don't even often think that they realize it or
probably
it does not dawn on them.
No, men think completely different. They don't mean to be, they just don't know.
Right.
They're just not educated, like you said, enough about it.
Well, because they're not, they're not women.
No.
Yeah.
But women have to advocate for ourselves too, because we've come a long way and we never used to, right? We don't speak up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we have to also do that.
Yes. And to your point earlier, that's another point of having this podcast was we were hoping, obviously this is no place to bash men or talk poorly about them because
all of our mentors were men.
Right. Exactly.
And B, like we wouldn't be in this industry if it weren't for men.
Right.
But it's also like, I like to talk to people and say, you have a mother, a wife, a girlfriend, a sister, an aunt, a friend that's a woman. Wouldn't you like to have a little bit more insight into, kind of some of the things that they go through?
Right.
That's not just maybe your wife saying, oh, I'm tired, or, oh, I can't sleep. Oh, she's really like going through like perimenopause. And you know what I'm saying? Like when it's your wife, sometimes I think it's easy to be like, well, that's just that,
That's just Becky.
That's yes. When really and truly she's going through something.
Right.
And when you hear other women
talk about it and describe themselves, and that's really your wife as well.
Right. You're like, oh, it's not just her.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think, yes, to your point, we're also hoping that men will want to, join in or,
participate. We'll get some men on here.
We've had Don Dykstra from Bloomfield.
Yep. Yeah.
He's huge into mentorship.
He's amazing.
He's built him and his wife, Debbie, are amazing humans, and they've just built this amazing legacy. But we are hoping to have more men on for that. So
for sure.
Yeah.
I think it's important because they are a huge piece of the conversation.
Yeah.
It's just awearness and education.
For sure.
On both of our sides, for us to respect their perspective and them to respect our position.
100%.
We're better together. We're a team, right?
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
All right, take us out, Zan.
Okay. Let's construct a world where skill speaks louder than gender. When women wear hard hats, barriers get demolished. We're not just building structures, we're constructing a new era of inclusion and equality.
I like that.
It's awesome.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
Oh, thanks
We
for letting
appreciate
me.
it.
This
Thank
was
you for
great.
coming on your day. And
It was too short, so you're
I know.
going to have to come back.
Yes.
I will. You just
Yes.
tell me when.
Okay.
I'll come back.
100%. Yes. And we'll be in contact as well.
Yeah.
So.
Next time I'm bringing a pink blanket, though.
Oh, yes, you can share mine and we can sit on the couch together.
Perfect.
I love it. Thank you again.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for the invite. This was so much fun.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you. Bye.
BuildHERS Club is a production by Monarch Media Hub.
Recorded and edited by MZStudios and executive produced by the amazing Abbigail Thompson.
Hosted by me, Teresa Williams.
And me, Zanika Scusa. If you have a topic you want us to discuss, message us on Instagram at BuildHERS Club.
Or email us at hello@monarchmediahub.com. That's HELLO @monarchmediahub.com.
And as always, when commenting, please use grace. We're here to build each other up.